So you've heard of automatic storage systems in Minecraft, right? Well, what if I told you I made a system that is completely remote and separate from my base that can actually be accessed from pretty much any base that's hooked up to the central mail loop right here. Yeah, that's right, I did it. I made something like this work. And oh my goodness, it took forever. But I'm going to show you everything that happened, okay? If you haven't seen the mail system video yet, please go check it out. I have a card right here in the top right corner of the screen. Please click it. Anyhow, if you already know what's going on or just want to see what's happening, great. I'm just going to take you through everything now. So this basically here is remote storage, okay? This is what I've called it. So a hopper minecart will hit here, and if it happens to have the remote storage thing, this rail changes to go that way. This rail is the exit rail, so more on that later. We have a good old detector rail here. Basically, they follow a bunch of chunk loaders and stuff. Alright, these things are what allow the minecart to move long distances in the nether and overworld. As you can see, we got one right over there as well. Basically, all they do is when they're triggered, I have a minecart here. Let me just place one down real quick. That is a dispenser dispensing an item through this portal here. And assuming everything went well, it has the piece of netherrack right there. Basically, it gets bounced back to the hopper here. And yeah, it just continues that cycle whenever a minecart happens to go nearby. So it's pretty cool that we got those there. We have a bunch of them. Pretty much every chunk where you see all these like cool boundaries here. Pretty much every one of these, we have a chunk loader here. And you can see we got more, and it just keeps going on and on. Then we eventually make it over here. Oh, hold on one second, I gotta click my Uber Eats order. Anyhow, this is a 2-in-1 chunk loader and minecart navigation thingy, or whatever you want to call it, minecart portal. You can turn on and off this device here by putting in, well, right now it's netherrack, but I'm gonna replace it with paper that says the word trigger to turn on and off, because I don't have a separate on and off, because this is a T-flop here, and because of how this works and whatnot, when a signal gets sent, I basically have the piston pull it back or pull it forward. Actually, let me demonstrate it, because words are hard. I'm just gonna drop it and watch all the way over there. You see that? It just immediately turned off, and now it's stopped all action going on over in the overworld side. Great for saving resources, or server resources. And look at that, it's already back in action. So if I ever need to shut this off in the event that there is lag on the server, which hopefully there isn't, but it has happened, I know I can shut down that and help reduce at least some of the lag going on here. So that's really it. This chunk loader is also a little different compared to the others, because you may have noticed there's a little hopper here, a couple droppers, like so. But there's also a couple minecart hoppers here, going into actual hoppers, going into this minecart chest right here. Now what will happen is when something is detected in this hopper here, it will send out a pulse going into this chest or rather this, can't really see it, but there's powered rail right there. And when that gets powered on, the minecart gets sent up, it delivers its one piece of, it delivers whatever it got dropped there, and the chunk loader proceeds as normal. This is like a bit of like an error checking kind of thing. In the event that something like a dispenser misfires and it goes all the way down, and the block goes all the way down and it misses the other portal or the other portal's hopper. If the hopper can't collect it for whatever reason, the obsidian will. So I do need to install, I think, one more set of hoppers here just to include the expansion of this portal here, but it has been working really well. Looks like there hasn't really been that many losses in blocks. So yeah, if it ever fails, we'll know pretty quickly. But let's go ahead and hop onto the overworld side of things, because I'm tired of talking in the nether. So in the overworld side of things, we're already met with this little makeshift loop here. It's a little confusing at first, okay? A lot to take in. But yeah, let me just walk you through some of the stuff here, okay? So this is where all the mail comes from, or the minecarts. It goes along this trail here. It gets a little harder to follow, so I may use replay mod footage to actually show you what's going on here. But it's going to hit a little junction, and if the minecart is carrying an unload sticker or unload stamp, then it's going to direct this rail to go left. Now the reason why it does that is because the hopper minecart, there's a chest minecart following it. And with this system here, there needs to be 2 minecarts. So having this little junction here created a little bypass for single hopper minecarts who just needed to make it all the way around the bend there and go probably somewhere else, like into the load function, or even if they were just existing solely to turn on or off the chunk loader. Alright, it basically gave them the opportunity to do that. Now, somebody could, in theory, send over a chest minecart in addition to the hopper minecart and potentially brick the system here. I have not tested that, and I do not want to test that, but basically, assuming nobody is stupid with the system, everything should be okay. But it's pretty hard to idiot-proof things, so I need to figure out how to idiot-proof that if that ever happens. But we have this little junction here, or I don't know if you'd call it a junction or not. I called it a speed limiter at first, but there's a different thing for that. Effectively, this thing will take the minecarts and separate them. Okay, if they are like stuck in together, sometimes they will do that. This separates it so the hopper minecart goes there, just minecart goes there, and when both minecarts are in, they get powered and they get sent that way. Okay, a T-flop helps to ensure that both minecarts are actually in effect. I can actually demonstrate it right now. Let me just put down a minecart like so. It's gonna go up. It's gonna go through this little water here. I'm just gonna push it so that it goes a tad faster because the water is pretty slow. But it goes there. And look at that. T-flop's already on. Okay? Now, let's say a second minecart comes in. Okay? Look at that. And it goes all the way down, just like that, and it resets just fine. Oh, and if you're wondering what happens with that unload stamp over there, it gets put into this chest minecart here, goes up, and all the way down to this hopper here, and the hopper minecart is then able to retrieve it. Now, hopper minecart is going to be waiting for some time, so it doesn't really matter that it has to, it doesn't matter the speed of the chest minecart as long as it beats the other chest minecart, if you get what I'm saying, but then it proceeds onto this route here. Now, in the event that the unload command is not called, like I stated previously, it goes up through here, follows this little trail, and hops back onto the main rail like so. Now here's what's going to happen. There are 2 places where I can get off besides going back to the main portal. Eventually it will go back that way. But what will happen is there's an unload detector right here, unload stamp, goes in there, and basically it causes both minecarts to enter into this rail right here. Once that's happened, there's a second junction right here that will deliberately separate the hopper minecart from the chest minecart. Because this place here only needs the chest minecart going up there, which I'll show you in a little bit. But we want the hopper minecart to continue going that way so that it can return to its owner. That way we can recycle hopper minecarts easier, because we can't really recycle them up there. I'll show you why in a minute, but this is what I've worked out, and basically it returns to the main rail like so. With this, you can also call the load function. Lets you request a chest minecart of stuff, and I mean, I'm going up right now because there's really not much else to... Actually, I did miss a couple of things that I'll need to show you, but why not we just go up and show you everything that's happening. And actually, I'm going to show you guys the unload system first. We're going to work from the top down. So, yeah, let's show you everything. So this is where the chest minecart will come from. It lands, it will go into there, and it has to have something to unload, okay? If it doesn't have anything to unload, it kind of gets stuck here. So you kind of have to have something to unload into these hoppers here. And when nothing gets detected in this bottom hopper here, that indicates the entire chest minecart is like completely finished, unloading, and it rams itself into this cactus where it drops as an item, gets sent down all these hoppers, and then this little minecart down there collects those minecarts. Now the items get sent on this long trail of hoppers. This is not optimized, okay? If you have any better ideas for this, please let me know. I would love to hear your ideas. But at the moment, it's just this. I tried using a minecart trail, but ultimately I nixed the idea in favor of this one. I am probably going to use it for future ones though, when I like go down another level or something. For the load system, I'll show you what I mean in a second. I've said that a lot, actually, now that I think about it, so why not just show you everything that's going on. We have 2 separate items that you can request, and they're both spaced out really far from each other, but in reality, they should be like maybe 2 blocks away from each other, or like 1 block away from each other at most, or even preferably right next to each other. But that can't really happen because guess what? Look at this mess down here. Look at it. It is unoptimized, okay? I designed this from my head. Alright, it does not look good whatsoever. But it works. I'm going to be trying to design a more optimized version of this system, but we'll ultimately see what happens and go from there. So you see we have a chest minecart right here with a dispenser that has more minecarts in it, and that minecart up there will refill any dispensers that are low on stuff. Okay, there's this little contraption here that will basically, if this is powered off, it will turn this torch on, directing the rail that's up there to be switched to the opposite direction so that the chest minecart comes down here, loads up like 2 minecarts or something, and then goes back up. Because the dispenser does not need 9 minecarts at once, okay? If it just needs like 2, okay? It can request more if it needs it, alright? It only needs like that much, or even just 1, as long as it's got something to dispense with. But anyhow, the chest minecart, or the hopper minecart, if it is requesting something, will need to have an item, and I don't have one in this case, but cobblestone, alright? I'm just gonna grab a piece of cobblestone here, alright? Should a hopper minecart have cobblestone, it will cause the direction of that to flip, have the hopper minecart go into here. This detector rail sets off a whole ton of redstone crap here that will cause the powered rail to turn on. It causes the hopper minecart rail to turn on as well, but make sure it does that first before it does that, so that way the chest minecart's not too far behind. And it doesn't really matter how far behind the chest minecart is, as long as it's not like stuck or not more than like 5 or 10 seconds behind, it should be fine. Because much as this may be on a server, there's probably like only 2 or 3 people online at a time, if that's even the case. Right now it's just me. It's not going to see widespread use, okay? It will get used once in a while, probably once in a blue moon, when people remember that it exists. All I want to do is create some sort of system that works. But it doesn't really matter too much that it's far behind or anything, because there's another one of those contraptions that will slow down the minecarts and cause them to relink each other. Minecart linkers might actually be a good thing for it. So we got another one here. This one's for stone. This one has a lot more stone in it, and you can request like a full chest load and stuff. But basically, it's meant to have a huge load of stone. Okay, that's literally its purpose. And then the minecarts will orbit around the track. They're gonna go down here. I am gonna make it so the track does go down in the future. I have not done that yet. I really just want to show you guys how everything works. But yeah, this is a pretty massive drop. I've already lost a totem doing that once. So yeah, I'm just gonna be careful. I don't want to fall down there right now. So I'm just gonna go down a different path right there. Just gonna take this one down. Thanks to this handy dandy riptide trident, I can actually get down faster. And let me show you the system over here. What happens when the minecarts fall down. So minecarts fall right here. They go into this little thingy here. Doesn't matter if the minecarts push each other out. There's just another block right there that will push it back. And then the same logic happens with all this crap here. Basically what I showed you for the unloaded mechanism, everything applies the same way. This is just so that it will handle being in the nether better, because interdimensional minecarts are kind of glitchy and buggy and all sorts of crap at times. So keep that in mind if you're going to try to do something like this. Minecarts are stupid and buggy, and yeah, it's just a huge mess, if I'm being totally honest. But anyhow, that is the remote system in a nutshell. So now I'm actually going to go ahead and send something. I'm going to show sped up footage because it takes, the actual real time it takes for things to happen is pretty huge. Like about 3 minutes for things to get sent back and forth. Alright? About a minute to get there, a minute to travel the mail system, a minute to get there, a minute to get back. Yeah. It takes about 3 minutes from my base anyway. So let's just go back over there. We'll do a quick test. And I can actually show you some replay footage as well of me testing some stuff. But yeah, we'll do that. Just kind of show you how it works and whatnot. And yeah, let me just go up here real quick. This is kind of my own home version of everything. This is how minecarts are going to get sent and whatnot. And there's also a speed bump here. Minecarts going in there, get sent up there. Chest minecarts go up here. We can actually go up the chest minecart thing because we can fit in 1x1 gaps by sprinting in water. And look at that, we just mailed ourselves through our own mail system. Anyhow, let me show you how this thing works. So we got remote storage. We want to unload something, and we want it to come back to me. Okay? Let's load all this logic in here. We want to unload. Oh, what do we want to unload? Let's send over 3 cobblestone. Actually, 3 cobblestone probably isn't the best idea. We want to send over a ton of cobblestone, or a ton of something else, or a ton of. Actually, 34 stone might not be a bad idea. Okay, let's just send it over. Okay, remote storage, unload, Tron bite. Yup. Okay, here we go. Alrighty, so the 2 minecarts will go down the little chute here and enter the mail system. As you can see, they are right now on the mail loop. I do have a video explaining this in more detail if you want to go check that out. But we're just going to follow these minecarts until they make it over to the remote storage destination. And that's going to be coming up on the minecart's left, which is also our left in case you were wondering. Although I don't think I needed to say that. But yeah, we're just going to go all the way down until we reach the destination. And then we're going to go ahead and cut to the overworld because guess what? I am still learning how to use replay mod. But anyhow, the minecarts are going to turn left and they're going to be briefly inside each other before separating themselves out thanks to some water. And thanks to this separation, this little T-flop activates, causing the minecarts to separate from each other and be a set distance apart, which is exactly what is needed to keep everything working properly. We're going to now follow the chest minecart up the water elevator, and once we go all the way up, which is going to take some time, we're going to watch the chest minecart literally jump out of the water, or jump out of the little elevator, and it's going to make its way down and get unloaded. Alright, so as you can see, the hopper minecart has come back. It does happen to get a little bit of stone. The reason for that is there are times when the hopper minecart is directly below the chest minecart, and it just so happens to manage to steal a piece of cobblestone, or stone in this case. That's why I said like multiple cobblestone is kind of necessary, because the hopper minecart will come back for it. But I like to think of it as actually a little feature, so that if you accidentally send over too much of your stuff, you can request it back. Alright, let me actually show you that in action. We're going to do remote storage, load, and we're going to request, we're going to have it go back to me. I need to get more trombite stamps. And we're also going to use stone. Okay, we already have a piece of stone here. Let me show you this logic here. Remote storage, load, stone, trombite. Remote storage, it basically directs the minecarts to go to the remote storage destination. Load, the command that it's going to have the minecart do. Alright, we want it to be loading stone. Okay, that's the parameter we're using. Then we want it to return back to my base. And we actually do not need the chest minecart. Like I said before, having a chest minecart get sent through the system like that can actually brick the entire thing, because it's going to bypass the entire dual chest minecart thing. So it really needs to have just this stuff here. And there's a couple safeguards in place to prevent chest minecarts if they do manage to make it that far. There are some of those to prevent them from actually making it over to the load function. But anyhow, let's go ahead and send this thing again. Queue up some replay mod footage. Right, here's some great replay mod footage of a ladder going downwards, and we're going to follow the minecart hopper all the way along the trail. You can actually see this time I remember to include the little part going from my portal all the way to the main mail loop system. But yeah, we're just going to watch this minecart orbit its way around the place. And yeah, we're just going to follow it, because following it is following it. We like to follow minecarts around here. Yeah. Also, if you're wondering what the glass is for, I don't know if I mentioned this already, but the glass is so that mobs don't spawn. That being said, there's a piglin right there, and I was surprised it didn't actually get hit. But now we're going to go ahead and cut to the overworld, because I forgot stuff again. And we're going to watch it bypass the entire dual chest system, or minecart system, and it's just gonna orbit around this little loop here. Eventually it's gonna turn here and go up this little ladder here. And as you can see, this is a great view of the cave system in Minecraft. I know, right? Just absolutely phenomenal. But then we watch the minecart bounce up a couple times, and it will slowly march its way over to the loading system up here. Now it's going to check here. Nope. And yeah, okay. This is where all the stone is, and the chest minecart is going to start following the hopper minecart. Now in this case, it doesn't matter how far away they are because, let's just be honest, this thing's going to get used once in a blue moon. So distance really doesn't matter a ton here, especially since there's a minecart double checker down below, which is similar to that of the unload system. But yeah, we get to watch it fall down, and now we're gonna have it go through the system here. Now this is just basically so that everything is set, like the distance is set appropriately for the minecarts, so they're not really far behind. And now we get to watch them go into the nether. And as you can see, they are on the return trail from the remote storage nether. Right about here, they get really separated, probably because the chest minecart got pushed into the wall. But whatever the case may be, it still works, so I'm not too worried about it. We're just gonna watch them go back to my base, and yeah, the mail successfully delivers. And look at that! The minecart has come back with all of this stone here. This is pretty darn awesome. And I'm gonna send it back because I don't need all this stone. I'm just showing it for demonstration. I need more stamps of myself. And if I just call remote storage, unload, Tronbite, and we can just put a couple more of these in there. And now we're just gonna go ahead and send it, and it'll come back. Another thing I should also note is that I am currently in version 1.21, and I built the system in 1.20.4. And the fact that it's working perfectly right now shows that, hey, you can build something like this in the current version right now. Or, well, right now, 1.20. Wait, no, 1.21. Ugh, math is hard. But anyhow, that's basically the entire remote system. Maybe not necessarily in a nutshell, but man, this thing is certainly one heck of a thing to describe, alright? Again, check out the mail system video if you don't understand any of whatever's going on here, because I talk a lot more about that stuff in that video. But yeah, this is basically the entire remote storage system, basically how everything works and whatnot. If you want to see how I managed to get all of this working, I recommend you go check out like the 5 or 6 streams that I did on the remote storage system. If you go to my Rhodius B playlist, you will see 5 or 6 of those streams are related to this remote storage system and like getting it working and stuff like that. And I went through a lot of frustration getting this thing working, okay? This took like a month or 2 to build. More than. This was stressful. But anyhow, I'm gonna stop going on that because you're probably tired of hearing me talking, so I just want to say thank you for watching the video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Maybe consider subscribing if you want to see more content like this, and I hope to see you soon. Bye!